Hey everybody, welcome to Chiang Mai, Thailand. Chiang Mai was the first place Anna and I visited in our Asia trip, early April 2014. Gonna add in a lot of photos and video from our trip and do a little voiceover of our experience. I hope you don't feel like I'm too ungrateful by the end of it, because I do have quite a few negative experiences to tell you. Perhaps they were based on expectation, but Exhibit A definitely wasn't. The air quality was awful. This was the best air quality the whole trip. Most of the time, those mountains weren't even visible. The only reason they were visible was because it had just rained, and it's because they were burning rice fields, and it literally made the air painful to your lungs to breathe every time you breathed. Exhibit B was the fruit. We were under the impression that it was going to be a fruit paradise. Durian writer and friends like to say that it's a fruitarian's paradise, and we just did not feel that that was the case. It was very hard to find ripe fruit. Here's the market street, and we spent a lot of time over here just looking and looking for ripe fruit. It looks like there's a good bounty of abundance around, but it just wasn't ripe. It was all sour, and the tamarind was good. No complaints. And those coconuts, those little mini coconuts were really good, but everything was expensive, especially compared to what people said it was going to be. And on the bright side, we got to try durian for the very first time, and that was really good. And also, the temples were beautiful. The people were friendly. It was my first experience with a Buddhist culture, and it was a good experience. Like I said, the temples were just ornate, and just so much work gone into every little detail. And we rented some bikes, went to the local park, and it was nice. And we rode out of town one day and went to the elephant poo-poo paper park, where they make they make paper out of poo-poo, and you follow the little poo trail and learn how they do it. And so they use the excrement of horses and elephants and cows and all sorts of other fibers to make paper, damn it. So there's Anna churning the poo, and that's the first process apparently, and then it goes through that little machine, and that was the end product there, but you'd never be able to tell it was made out of poo. It's pretty cool if you ask me. And here is how they do it.
Thank you.
Okay, so here's the paper, and it was really cool stuff. I like to do some artwork on it. Here's the machine milled stuff. It looks like it's a pretty normal paper. There's a lot of information everywhere about the history of paper, and it was very interesting. There's where they dry the poo paper, and then they made these little cutouts, and you could make your own cards or posters or all sorts of things. It was pretty cool. Here's a postcard I made for my family, or a card and an envelope actually. And on the way back, we went to a lot of temples. There's so many of these temples, it's incredible. There's a temple every few blocks, and they're just so detailed, and it's pretty amazing. And the next amazing experience was the Elephant Nature Park, which is a sanctuary for elephants and other animals that have been abused and exploited from logging or panhandling or other tourist reasons. And a woman named Lek bought a huge piece of property to rescue them, and it was just beautiful. I've never experienced anything like it. This is the van ride there. It's outside of Chiang Mai, and they take you to and from the place. It takes all day, but it is very worth it. And I mean, you get to spend all day with elephants, which are incredible creatures that they remind me of giant puppies, honestly. They're just so gentle, and they're giant, but I don't know, they just have a real friendliness about them. And this one was blind. There was many very abused. I mean, the stories they told about these elephants it was just awful. And but now they have a home where you get to feed them, and they get to be around their friends, and it's just about the best we can do for them at this point, because I'm not positive you can even rewild them. Not that there is much wild left to try. Here is the elephant's tooth. It looked like 100 human molars glued together and weighed like 5 kilos or something. It's pretty crazy. And here's them putting on their daily dose of sunscreen. I must say it was really incredible being around such massive animals that have just been abused their whole entire lives by humans, and they had no interest in being aggressive or retaliating. They just wanted to be free and have peace like they would have in the first place. They also enjoyed being bathed. And there's a baby. This voiceover thing is really awkward for me. Probably just because it's me, because I'm awkward. And then they had this video about all of the abuse and just explained why this sanctuary needs to exist. And it was heartbreaking, but it was very nice to be at the sanctuary, just being around the solution, you know. And then there was a nice vegetarian dinner after the whole thing. But speaking of food, this was our favorite place to get dinner in Chiang Mai. It's really hard to find salad, and we like to eat a big salad every night or so. And this was the place to go. It was organic, and it was awesome. And this clip is people setting up for a procession of 500 Dutanga monks, which was quite the spectacle. It apparently comes from a tradition to commemorate a time where Buddha saved the town of Vassali from a outbreak of cholera and a natural disaster. The flower petals you see underneath their feet are a tradition that came from the townspeople of Vassali decorating the streets and roads with flowers before the Buddha arrived. So we are very grateful to have witnessed this very rare and special event. And that was the last monk there, and what they do is they begin to pray, and then they pick up all the flower petals behind them and take them home with them. You know, I don't know if if certain people who go there just sugarcoat it, or if they've just never had tropical fruit in their life or something, but or maybe we just weren't there at the right time, but the fruit didn't meet our expectations. The prices were higher than expected, but all in all, we enjoyed our stay in Chiang Mai. And even though we missed that train and had to take this tuk-tuk for a couple hours because the other tuk-tuk driver took us to the bus station instead of our train station, we we had a good time in Chiang Mai, and we took a train to Bangkok, and that's the next story. Hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe if you did. Thanks. Bye.